Good afternoon, class. Today we are going to study annuity concept in your mathematics of finance. So this is another concept in your mathematics of finance which talks about periodic payments with fixed size, equal size in equal distances. So we call it as annuity. This annuity can be defined as different series of payments which involve equal size and equal intervals. So these are your equal size payments on equal intervals. So generically this annuity is defined for annual payments, but now with the passage of time the size and its scope has been widened. So this annual structure is now expanded to include those payments which are even half yearly, quarterly, monthly, or less than a year. So the examples of these includes your premiums of life insurance, your recurring deposits, installment of loan payments, your monthly bank deposits. So RD is for your recurring deposit, your fixed premium, and your monthly deposits in banks, in any financial or non-banking financial institution. So it is like we are paying some equal amount in equal size in equal intervals to get something in total later. So before moving on, we will understand few concepts which are related to annuity. So this S is for sum which you get at the end of these fixed size payments. What are these concepts which are very important before moving on this annuity concept? Number one is your size. Then we have your payment interval. Then there is term and amount, are also known as your future value. The size is generally the periodic payment of an annuity. So the amount you are paying in each period is the size of the payment. So you may call it as periodic rent, periodic contribution. So this is your size. And this payment interval is the period of time elapsing between two successive payment dates, between two successive payment periods. So this is your payment interval. This term for annuity is the time from the beginning of the first periodic payment to the end of last periodic payment. So this will comprise of all the payments and combined period. This will be known as your term of annuity. Combined, all these payments are your terms of annuity. Now this amount or future value of annuity, it is the sum of the compounded amount. So whatever you have paid over different payment intervals you are going to add the compounding value of these payments, and you add all these compounding values to get the amount or future value. Suppose you are paying rupees 1 at this moment, then you pay again rupees at the other period, then rupees again on the next period, and you combine all these periodic payments, you compound them, you combine them, then you get your amount or future value. So you must be investing, you must be getting some interest on this, that you are going to compound these payments at that rate of interest for the period of their submission, and together when you add them they become your amount or future value. Now let us discuss different types of annuity. What are the different types of annuity there, and which type of annuity is important for you, which you are supposed to understand, which you are supposed to just read, just study. Number one type of annuity is your ordinary annuity. Ordinary annuity. This annuity is also known as immediate annuity, and in this particular annuity the first payment is made at the end of first payment interval. So if these are the intervals 0, 1, 2, 3, you pay at the end of your first payment is at the end of first interval. So you are going to pay at this moment, this is the payment interval, and you pay at the end of this payment interval. So this is your ordinary annuity. Then for other period you pay at the end of the second interval. The next type of annuity is your annuity due. An annuity due is the annuity where the first payment of which is made at the beginning of the first payment period or payment interval. So the first contribution, the first payment is made in the beginning of the payment interval. So what you have been paying at the end of the interval in the above, in the ordinary annuity, here you are going to pay in the beginning, in the start of the annuity interval, first payment interval. Then you have these two are the most important type of annuity which we are going to focus on. Then there are some other types of annuity also, and among them there is annuity certain. Now in this annuity certain, its payments are being extended over a fixed period of time. So you are supposed to pay for a fixed period of time. Payments are extended over a fixed period of time. Then we have this contingent annuity. So it is the annuity in which these payments continue for a period of time which depends on events or whose dates of occurrence cannot be accurately foretold. Then we have this deferred annuity. Now this deferred annuity is the one where first payment of which is postponed until the expiration of a period of time equivalent to a certain number of payment intervals. I repeat, this deferred annuity is one the first payment of which is postponed, is deferred until the expiration of a period of time equivalent to a certain number of payment intervals. So in this particular annuity, the payment is deferred or is postponed. Then we have the perpetuity, and you can get the idea of this perpetuity from the principle of perpetual succession, which talks about continuity, which talks about infinity. In this perpetuity, the payment is continuously, it continue forever. So when you study about a lifetime pension scheme, it talks about perpetuity annuity. So these are different types of annuity, and what we are just concerned with we will be mostly concerned with ordinary annuity, annuity due, and your perpetuity. And we'll start with your ordinary annuity. So here in this step we will calculate the amount of an ordinary annuity. So we will learn how we calculate the amount of an ordinary annuity. Now amount, we all know, we have discussed this in the start of the lecture, what this amount is. So amount of an annuity is the sum of the compound amount of all the payments accumulated at the end of the term. So you are going to compound your periodic payments and you add these periodic payments to get to the amount of the annuity. So suppose these are the periods 0, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, and these will go to the n since the term is not defined. So you are going to pay to the n number of period, and in every period you are going to pay some amount. That amount is going to be same, equal for all the periods. Suppose it is r, so this is ordinary annuity, so the payment will be at the end of the payment interval. So you are going to pay r at the end of first, r, equal size of payments in equal intervals. Now what we are going to do here is we are going to compound these. So you are going to earn some rate of interest, some interest on these payments. So what we'll observe here is that the interest earned on the payment which is made at the end of first payment interval will fetch you interest to all the periods except one. So if there are n periods, this first payment is going to earn you interest for the period of n minus 1 term. So you are going to pay r at the end of the period also. I is the rate of interest. This r is the first payment made at the end of first payment interval. This r is going to earn some interest, and the amount, if you calculate the amount for the first payment, it will be your r multiplied by 1 plus I to the power n minus 1. Why n minus 1? Because it is not going to earn interest for this particular period. इस पीरियड के लिए इंटरेस्ट आपको अर्न करके नहीं देगा क्योंकि आपने एंड में पेमेंट करा है. So it will earn for the whole period except for this payment. So it is, the amount is going to be r multiplied by 1 plus I to the power n minus 1. ये n होता, ये सब हमने कंपाउंडिंग में पढ़ा है, याद करेंगे. ये ऊपर n होता अगर ये बिगिनिंग में ही पेमेंट इसका करा होता, लेकिन ये ऑर्डिनरी एन्युटी है, एन्युटी ड्यू नहीं है. तो यहाँ पर 1 plus I n minus 1. Similarly for the second period we will find out, and we will see that second period is getting interest for whole term except first two terms. So in this case the amount is going to be your r multiplied with 1 plus I to the power n minus 2. And we are going to do same thing for all the periodic payments. Then we are going to combine them and will reach to a formula for the calculation of amount of an ordinary annuity. So for third payment it is n minus 3, for fourth it will be n minus 4 obviously. So we reach out at the condition of generation of formula. So this formula says that S is equal to R, the periodic payment size, multiplied with 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 divided by rate of interest. So this is your sum or amount of an ordinary annuity consisting of n number of payments and R each at the rate of I per period. Now this this function which is in multiplication of your r is also known as s sub n at the rate of I. So what we do is we write it as s sub n at the rate of I. So now the formula becomes your sum is equal to r multiplied with s sub n at the rate of I. So this s sub n at the rate of I per period is nothing but 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 divided by rate of interest. So this 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 divided by rate of interest is your s sub n I per period. And from this the problem becomes easy for you, as you can get this value, this s sub n I, in the table 3 of your book. So table 3 is given at the end of your book. At the end of your book you have your log tables, you have your present value, compound value tables. You will also find amount of annuity table, which is the table 3, and you can refer to that table 3 to get the value of this s sub n at the rate of I per period. So this becomes easy for the operation purpose, for the problem solving purpose. We'll do some questions on this, but before that we'll also discuss the present value concept of an annuity. So we'll do the combined question on this. So this is your compounded, annually compounded. If the condition calls for compounded continuously situation, if the scenario is for compounded continuously, the payments are getting compounded on a continuous basis, then this formula is going to change a bit. So in compounded continuously, the formula is your sum, which equal to the integration. This is your definite integration. So we have not discussed this yet, we'll do it later. So this integration of periodic payment size r multiplied with exponential function to the power of r t dt. So this we have not done this integration function yet, but we will do it later. So we will touch these concepts again when we are done with the integration concept. So pardon, this is not compounding annually, this is compounding continuously. So let me just rub this, and this is your compounded continuously, not compounded annually. So we are done with the calculation of amount of an annuity ordinary. Let us understand another concept which is just the opposite of this amount concept. This is known as the present value of an ordinary annuity. So this is present value of an ordinary annuity. This is exactly opposite to what we have studied in the sum or amount of annuity. So this present value is also known as capital value. It is the sum of the present values of all the payments you have made. So all the payments which you have made, when they bring down to their present value at the rate of interest, and you add all these values, you get your capital value. So again, on the same timeline, we have these periods. You are paying to n number of installments. This is annuity ordinary, so you are paying at the end of the payment interval. R is the fixed, is the equal size of payment. So what we are trying to do here is we will fetch down the value, the amount, this r paid at the end of first interval to 0, paid at the end of second interval to 0, paid at the end of third interval to 0, and similarly all these the future payments to one point, which is your present point. So the value, the present value of this R will be your R multiplied with 1 plus rate of interest, that is your 1 plus R to the power minus 1. So we have studied this present value concept previously also. Again, for the second payment, your R 1 plus rate of interest minus 2. For the third payment, again R 1 plus rate of interest to the power minus 3, and similarly you will go on like this. So at the end we will get a formula to calculate your present value. So this present value will be equal to R multiplied with 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus n divided by rate of interest. It gives the present value of an ordinary annuity consisting of n payments of rupees R each at the rate of I per period. Again, this function is going to be denoted by a sub n at the rate of I per period. So this is your 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus n divided by I, and your present value formula becomes R multiplied with a sub n at the rate of I. This is not compounded continuously, and this value can be found in table number 4. So exactly just like the previous one, you got the values in table 3. Compound your amount of annuity. You can get the value of your present value of annuity in table number 4. And when we talk about the continuously compounding present value of an annuity, we have the formula as P is equal to definite integration 0 to n R e to the power minus RT dt. So these are compound your amount and your present value. These are two ends of the same thread. These are compounding continuously present value formula. So we will do some questions on this, but before this I want you to get friendly with the table, with these two annuity concepts, and revise from the previous mathematics of finance questions on present value and compounding value.